Welcome into another episode of the RCR show. We've got a fun slate of stuff today to talk about. We're going to talk about the All-Star game. Maybe we can't try to make it positive. Maybe we just stick with the negative talk because it was not a great showing, honestly, from the NBA this past All-Star weekend. I honestly had still had fun watching NBA Saturday night. That was good for me. We will be talking about the best dunkers in the NBA in our long form. That'll be interesting to see. It's an opinionated list slightly. Took some lists from other people online, but it's mainly opinionated. We'll see if the boys kind of know who I think are the best dunkers in the NBA. We'll get a guest team from Cody. And then, of course, we'll close out the show as per usual. West, how are you doing? Did you catch any of the All-Star game, or did you decide to not watch that trash?
I actually did watch all 3 hours of the commercials and the 25 minutes of actual ball.
Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, it was just background noise for me if they weren't on the court. But yeah, we'll talk about it later. But what the NHL is doing, I think, is
great.
Something that's amazing, and we'll talk about it later. Just because they've completely revamped their midseason break. I know they just did away with All-Star games, but yeah, I didn't really watch that as much. Dunk contest though was.
Dunk contest was sneaky good.
Mac kind of saved it a little bit, I think, McClung, but 3-point was fine. Dame yawned on the bench and then didn't get out of the first round. Tough luck. Yeah. Tyler Hero won. Hey, generational run for the Whites. Tyler Hero, Mac McClung, Cooper Flag's balling. It's just a generational run for the Whites right now.
You're not wrong. Cody, did you catch any of it? Did you watch any of the dunk contest? Where are you at when it comes to All-Star Saturday night / the game?
I really liked it. I remember loving it when I was a kid, and it just slowly getting worse and worse and worse and worse until we're practically at rock bottom now. But don't worry, everyone's going to listen to us because we have some opinions too on how we're going to fix it, because obviously the NBA cares about that. But for now, I'm interested to hear about your list on the top dunkers. I know McClung's going to be in there. I know Zach LaVine's going to be in there. I know Aaron Gordon's going to be in there. So
Michael Jordan probably.
Let's get into that.
Let's just do the list without looking at the list.
Yeah, it will be interesting. Let's hop right into it right now. Can you name the best dunkers in the NBA? This is my opinion, and no, Mac McClung's not on the list. He is not in the NBA.
Oh, got him.
Got him. Okay.
Give me Shaedon Sharpe.
Shaedon Sharpe is your Portland Trailblazer representative. Now, this is, of course, my opinion. I use some outside lists, too, to help me out, but if you don't like the list, then you can come at me in the comments. I'm sure there are snubs, as per always.
Anthony Edwards has to have the sickest highlight reel when his career is over when it comes to dunks.
Anthony Edwards is on the list. He is the Timberwolf. And by the way, this is no particular order. I just threw logos on there.
Oh,
Ja.
Okay.
Ja Morant is the Grizzly. Correct.
I feel like I feel it has to be Zion, Cody.
Yeah.
As hurt as he is.
It is Zion, and yeah, I mean, again, this is so opinionated. I couldn't keep every stipulation. Like, some of these are just like, I think they're a great dunker. Some of them, I think they're a great in-game dunker. Some of them, I think great dunk contest. I don't know. There's just so many opinions, and they're just all formed into one list. So try your best.
Zach LaVine's going to be on this list. He's going to be the king.
Yes.
Zach LaVine is the king. One omission that I kind of sneaky wanted to put on here was Malik Monk. He's got some nice posters in his career, but he did not make the list, obviously.
And we'll just round out the 2016 greatest dunk contest of all time with Aaron Gordon featuring the Nuggets.
Aaron Gordon is on the list. He is one of two Nuggets. The only team that's got two on the list.
Are we going? Is this just today, Cole, or are we going?
I will say it takes into more of today, but it's hard to not have a little bit of reputation involved in it. But I would stray away from people that are riding hot on the end of the bench, aka DeAndre Jordan.
My guess for the Hornet is Miles Bridges.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, he has some of the best dunks along with announcer calls. I mean, who doesn't get hyped when you hear Miles?
Cav D. Mitch, he's a pretty good dunker.
That's what's going to be my guess.
But, is there another name we're forgetting? Nah, D. Mitch.
D. Mitch is on the list. He won a dunk contest. He's got some good posters. He's a short guard, so he looks like he's flying higher than other people. So, yeah, he's on the list for the Cav.
Okay.
Also helps he has a 7-foot wingspan.
I think the Rocket, my guess is going to be Jalen Green. Because he's got bounce. And it's like Sengun is ground bound. Van Vliet has no bunnies. Dylan Brooks doesn't do anything on offense. Oh, it could be Amen.
Could
Could
be
be
on
one of the
man.
Thompsons, but Cole did say a little reputation, and Green's got bounce.
Green had a sick dunk against, I don't know
Let's
who
go
it was.
Jalen Green.
It was against Simons.
Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, because he dunked on his baby mama's other man.
On his baby
Or maybe
mama,
that
baby
wasn't even a
mama.
dunk. It's correct. It's Jalen Green. In my rough draft, I had a Min and Asar Thompson on here because of sheer athleticism, but they haven't yet really have had the big in-game dunk so far. So I held them off the list, but trust me, I wanted to put them on here.
Who's the
Okay.
buck? Is it just Giannis? Even though he's 7 feet tall?
It's probably Giannis. I mean, Andre Jackson was just in the dunk contest, but it's gonna be Giannis. Probably. But like, is Giannis a good dunker? Really?
Giannis,
Yeah,
it's gonna be Giannis. It's absolutely not Andre Jackson. I don't know who was worse, him or Buzelis, but they both were shamed to the dunk contest.
Jeez.
Giannis just has sheer force in his dunks, and honestly, I didn't have him on this list. I had a Min first,
Okay.
but then I looked up Giannis dunks on TikTok, and he's just got highlight after highlight after highlight. Just he's
Sheer
got the
force.
posters.
Is the Spurs just Stefan Castle? I don't think he would put Wemby, like, right?
He loves Wemby, man. Is this when he just drops the ball through the hoop? Is that a good dunk? It
It's
has
definitely
to be
not
Castle. It's
Wemby.
gotta be
Yeah,
Castle.
it's Castle.
It's Castle. He wouldn't have been on this list, but like his dunk contest performance was like pretty impressive, especially for having no props at all. So I had to throw him
Yeah.
on this list. It was one of the better dunk contest performances in a while, in my opinion.
Okay. I think I'm just going to say is Derrick Jones Jr. He's on the Clippers. It's got to be
Yep.
Derrick Jones Jr.
Yep.
He's got some of the biggest bunnies. Airplane mode. That's what they call him.
Yeah, he's literally one of the best dunkers in the NBA, one of the best dunk contest dunkers in the NBA. He just does it all in game, out of game. He's on the list.
Hey,
Another nugget.
LeBron, right? LeBron.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
It's no one else. It's
no
LeBron.
one else. It's
LeBron.
You were so close. It's actually Bronny. No, I'm kidding. It is LeBron James. How could I leave him on this list? Even at 40 years old, he still has some of the better dunks in the NBA. Let's be real.
I think the Jazz is going to be. I think it's John Collins.
It's going to be John Collins. Now, I can't really think of a great poster he's had with the Jazz, but he had some crazy posters from some Trae Young lobs back in the Atlanta days. He also is the victim of one of the craziest posters of all time by the guy who's above him on this list, right above him on the literal graphic, Anthony Edwards. So he might just make the list based off of that dunk alone, but he does make the list on his own dunks too. Him and
Pacer.
Rudy.
Could be like TJ McConnell getting up there. Nah, just kidding.
My guess would be Obi Toppin. He's got.
Oh yeah, dude, that guy. Can't he like hit the ball from when it's stuck between the shot clock and the backboard? I think that was him.
Probably. He probably can. And he also has some of the craziest dunks ever. He had crazy dunk at Dayton back when he was in college, too. Honestly, for an opinionated list, the fact that you're 15 for 15 right now, no strikes, is pretty impressive. And you just have a nugget left.
Nugget, I want to
End
say
it with Russ.
Okay, it's not Jamal Murray. Could it be Jokic?
We will go Russ. No need to think on this team.
Could be Peyton Watson, but we'll go Russ.
Yeah, it's Russell Westbrook, and this is the one I don't feel the best about because, again, he had some great dunks back in his day. Similar to LeBron, I feel like LeBron still has better dunks to this day, but I put him on the list just because like he at least has the full mixtape of great dunks throughout his career. Some of these other guys, like the Thompson twins, might be better athletically now and better dunkers, but we just haven't seen it yet. So, in my opinion, these are the best 16 dunkers in the NBA. I think the top three is clear and away Ant, Draw, and Shaden Sharp, in my personal opinion. And that's why I put him top three, even though this isn't in any particular order. But that is the best dunkers in the NBA. Let us know if you thought there were any snubs. I'm sure there are plenty. Let us know in the comments. All right, let's talk All-Star Game format, All-Star Game weekend as a whole. In my personal opinion, I think the biggest issue for the All-Star for the NBA is just strictly the All-Star Game. I really think All-Star Saturday Night wasn't even that bad this year. Everyone's clowning the dunk contest, and of course, would you rather an actual NBA player be the face of the dunk contest, and would you rather star players be in the dunk contest? Of course, but I think this was one of the better dunk contests we've had since the 2021, where it was Derrick Jones Jr. and Aaron Gordon. So I don't think that's the problem. The 3-point contest, I think, is never going to be a bad thing because you're literally just shooting the ball. And, I mean, it's going to be how it always is. All-Star Game, though, can we all agree the format this year just sucked? Like, why is Dalton Connect and Zach Edey playing on TNT Primetime Sunday? West, what is your biggest gripes with specifically this All-Star Game this year? Just format, broadcast, presentation, every aspect. What's your biggest gripe?
I mean, for me, it's going to be the amount of, for a 3-hour program, I think it was like 40 minutes of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
which is disgusting.
That is
And
unbelievable.
look, if the All-Star Weekend wants to turn into like a corporate palooza, then like fine. But I feel like at first I was excited. I was like, tournament, all right. But like target score of 40 takes 5 minutes when no one tries. And yeah, like you said, I mean, I thought the best basketball was kind of the end of that Rising Stars versus OG team. So I know you were like, why is Dalton Connect? But like they were always going to try, and like the older dudes don't want to lose to that. But I don't know. I think there's a bigger problem with just basketball in general of like people, good players think it's like lame to try.
Yeah.
The only one trying out there was Wembanyama.
Yeah.
So, respect to him for actually being the only one trying. You saw, like, I think it was when Jason Tatum got the game-winning dunk or something. He just went like,
see,
like he was actually pissed, and like that was genuine.
I thought he was mad that they didn't give it to Curry for him to like shoot a 3 for the win.
No, they were mad. He was mad that his defense behind him
No,
wasn't
I
trying.
think he was actually mad because he looked like he was guard. He was the only one who did a defensive stance in that possession. So
I mean, when you get backdoored on the final play and your 4 other teammates are on the perimeter, it's just like it just shows that you're not trying.
Like these players just don't try. Like I get you don't want to get hurt, but I think there's an in between. Like the 2020 All-Star game, that was so good. Like we got Kyle Lowry taking charges out here. Like what the All-Star game is supposed to be a showcase of the best players in the world. They try harder in pickup in the summer in the gym.
I feel like there's so many reasons why. There's obviously the injury. There's the new like load management. People are very more cautious about their bodies. Social media is a thing. So players, the risk reward of trying hard and possibly getting postered or getting taken to the cup one-on-one by a guy that is supposed to be worse than you. Like there's no benefit to the problem is there's really no benefit to trying in the All-Star game other than just like really pride, which should be a big deal. You should like want to have pride in the product of your league, but unfortunately, I was listening to someone say Adam Silver's just a enabler. Like he's not going to come down hard on the Curry, the KDs, the LeBrons of the world, to where like he's going to punish them for doing anything. But like if you really, really cared about them trying hard, you would find some way to like say, well, if you don't try, then this will happen. But the big thing is like, I don't think I actually care that much that they don't try. I've never been interested in the All-Star game. The biggest thing is like the most fun about All-Star weekend is the dunk contest and 3-point contest. Let's be real. If we want to talk about how to fix the dunk contest, I think that's a more important conversation.
Well, we can move into that.
Yeah, but the dunk contest, like I feel like at some point, like what dunks have not been done.
Exactly. And that's why I also don't overreact to when people are like the dunk contest sucks. It's like physically the human body can only do so much. And like then people are like, well, Mac McClung is so lame because the only reason he won is because he had all these props. Well, like what are we going to do? Even some of the castle dunks, like I'm sure we saw those before in a dunk contest. Like it's just there's only so many you can do when you have 3 seconds to do something in the air.
You know what's also interesting is like let's take the Vince Carter arm in the rim dunk. If that was done, if Castle did that, no one would bat an eye. Because the game evolves.
Can we talk about how the Vince Carter dunks they showed the tribute to all of them? They're so overrated. I mean, like at the time they were great, yes, but literally anybody in a current dunk contest can do that. Like literally, Donovan Mitchell did that as his first dunk, like one of the years in the dunk contest, and like I don't even know if it got a 50. Like. I mean, it's the most overrated thing ever. But
as someone who can probably not even dunk a ping pong ball, yeah, it's pretty lame. But to talk about how to just make the dunk contest better, initially on top of my mind, you have to let stars compete. Who cares if they're 26, 27 years old? Invite just anyone who wants to come. There will be how many players in the NBA? Over 300? You got to think the top 25 will like that want to play in the dunk contest will actually like practice on their own time in the gym on these dunks and just hype it up and just make it bigger names, bigger people that want to try harder. And it's just like every time I look at the list, every single year, I'm just like, who's that? Who's that?
There's no incentive to do it, though.
Stars and try, like.
There's no incentive. These guys get paid too much. Like, what? You're going to put a couple million on the line for the All-Star game? Like, no one cares.
That's the problem. Like, the fact that we say there's no incentive, which is absolutely true, it's just like, that sucks, because the incentive should be you should feel like you want to be a dunk contest champion. The dunk contest used to be one of the biggest things in the NBA, and it still is a huge thing, but like, again.
But a G League guy's won it 3 years in a row.
Yeah, but I also think we need to just end the Mac McClung thing. He did a great job. He was awesome, but like, we need to just, I will take the dunks getting worse if it meant they're being done by good players. I think another thing that's hurting All-Star Weekend, and I hate to say it because I love this guy, the face of the league doesn't take it seriously and has never participated in anything. So why should anybody else that's been watching him for the last 20 years do the same? LeBron has never been in a dunk contest when he probably should have been at least once. And he also like doesn't take the game seriously. And then he literally says he can't play because he's injured 5 hours before, and he doesn't play. And I don't even care about like, oh, people are so sad because Norman Powell didn't get a chance to come play. That wouldn't have changed anything. But it's just little things like that. And again, the crazy thing is I'm not even blaming him, because if I was an NBA player, I'd want to be a guy that makes the All-Star game but is injured so he can go on vacation. These guys just want to have a vacation. Like the fact that no one wants to go to Oakland or San Francisco, California in the middle of February when they could be going to Cancun like Paul George and sit on the beach and do nothing. Like no one wants to be there realistically. That's the thing.
Paul George.
So here's my fix. I feel like this is good.
What's your fix? Let's hear it.
So there's 24 guys, right?
What is this for? All-Star dunk?
This is for the All-Star game. This is for Sunday. So you do your Saturday night, that stays. I really don't think you can fix that. And if every year was the best year ever, then like that's lame too. Like you get the reason why 2016 is so awesome is because it doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
So what I would do is the top 16 guys. So there's 24 All-Star bids. The top 16 All-Stars are like the starters. They don't play in the game. They just play like a 16 tournament, like 1v1. Because if you're not going to try, then I just want to see some cool handles and go one-on-one. So play a one-on-one tournament with the top 16. Then I would take the bottom 8 All-Stars, and I would take the 8 most snubs, and they play for the All-Star appearance on their Basketball Reference page.
I honestly, like, it's...
Like the 8 guys who make it, and then the 8 guys who got snubbed, Norm Powell, those guys, they play a elim game, and the winning team is the All-Stars. The last.
It's an interesting idea, because I think the biggest thing about all this is guys want to make the All-Star game, not to plan it, not to be there, just for the accolade, which is very important, because similarly to like, not similarly, because like Pro Bowls don't matter in the NFL, because we got Mitch Trubisky, Tyler Huntley, and Drake May making Pro Bowls when they almost have more picks and touchdowns. So the Pro Bowl doesn't matter. All pros matter. So people are actually going to care about all pros, but the good thing is you don't have to go do anything for the all pro. You just get the accolade. These guys just want the accolade, and they would love to just go home after the accolade. They don't want to be at the All-Star game. So I think it's an interesting idea. I don't think guys would play one-on-one, because if guys aren't going in the dunk contest because they're embarrassed.
No, but what I'm saying is it's just like the winner gets like some money they can give to charity, but like it's going to be low energy anyway. I just want to see dudes go, the best players go one-on-one. If they're not going to try it, rather than just play like a one-on-one King of the Hill thing, then like
it's fair.
Fake try and like do the cool run. Like I don't want to see that, Shea. And by the way, Shea's farming free throws in the All-Star game. Like, what are we doing?
That was gross. I'm not even joking. I tuned in. Like I didn't really watch much of it, but I tuned in one time and he was at the line. It was just a hilarious moment for me personally. But yeah, I don't know. You hit all the right points. I was gonna say just some other quick thing I jotted down was it's kind of funny how Chris Paul and Wemby during the skills challenge sold on purpose and then got disqualified. That's such a CP3 minded thing to do. I almost like respect them for it, but it's like even though it's kind of stupid, like if they were to win that way, like it kind of be talked about and notable if they left it to go. And Kevin Hart, man, just I don't know, man.
Wait, that's 2015.
Come on, man, get out of my
going
ear,
off
Kevin
of the
Hart.
Kevin Hart thing. The worst thing the NBA is doing. Why do they keep talking on the broadcast of the actual All-Star game how bad the All-Star game is. Like, what do you expect people to say? Everyone's like, everyone hates the NBA. It's dying. Well, when you have Kevin Hart getting on the broadcast talking about how bad, low energy this is and how guys don't try, and then you have Kenny Smith literally as Jason Tatum is dunking in the game-winning shot of the All-Star game going, man, this is so low energy. They're not doing this next year. As he's hitting the game winner, like,
That's crazy.
why would people watch? You're not, at least when you turn on the Pro Bowl, people are like having fun, big, high energy. People accept the fact that they are just going to play flag football. And while it might not be a great TV product and it might not be for everybody, so what? It's not for everybody. Half the reason All-Star Weekend's good is for the people that go. Like, we can live with the guys not trying. I don't think it's necessary for the guys to try for the NBA to be awesome. So that's my thing. I think the NBA just needs to either, if you're going to tell people to try, like, go all in on it and like have some punishments. I don't know what that would look like, but something like that, or accept the fact that they're not going to try and just live with it. People are still going to try in the dunk contest, 3-point contest. And, like, it's not about the game. It's about just the guys being on the court together. And it's about just having a fun break in the NBA season. And it's not that deep, but
I'm thinking about my idea more. And if I put myself in someone's shoes that went to Adam Silver and said, this is my idea, and then he implemented that idea, I feel like it would get backlash from the players. They'd be like, that's not fair. So the other part of this is like the players are, I don't want to say they're coddled, but like
they're coddled.
They get whatever they want. So like,
yeah,
the NBA, sure, I think they did an awful job. I mean, I guess they executed what they were going for. I mean, they made a ton of sponsorship money, and Kevin Hart did his thing.
Nothing made sense. They had Jason Tatum on Team OGs. He's 26, and they had Donovan Mitchell on Team World.
Mr. Beast was on there.
Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast looked out of his element. He was like, "Come on, like, try to make it. You got it."
Mr. Beast did not want him to make it, and Dame, he was mad at Dame for not shooting.
Yeah, but I think that one of the parts that annoyed me the most was we're like they're playing the game, and like Chuck and Shaq, they're like live like you said, live commentating. Like, I just give me Brian Anderson. Give me someone I want to listen to.
Exactly. Just every part about it was bad. They went two different ways. They're telling us this is going to be really serious. People are going to try in a tournament, and then they're having a JV squad broadcasting team. They can be a great studio team, but they are JV when it comes to the broadcast booth. So like
middle school.
They're just it's Freshman. The NBA has no direction. They don't know which way to go. And I think it's a lost cause to try to make them try, because again, I'm just looking at it now. If I was an athlete's perspective, you don't get any breaks in the season. People already get mad at you when you load manage. So when you get an opportunity to have a break in the season, you're going to take advantage. Like, the season's too long. Maybe shorten the season and people will try more. That's an option. So
8 snubs versus the 8 lowest All-Stars, 40 minutes, FIBA rules.
For the Basketball Reference.
For
All-Star.
The All-Star appearance that year. That, like, to me, that's the one thing people would try for, is to get the All-Star recognition. Because that carries contract incentives. That carries, like,
yeah.
That carries a lot, because I'm sure there's like stipulations in contracts with like Supermax money if you hit All-Star appearances and All NBAs and stuff like that. It's like that It would matter, because like an All-Star appearance on someone's resume to me means more than than $300,000 each player. Like, they just don't care about that.
True. I think, at the end of the day, we can have all these like incentives. Probably is going to just feel forced and fake until the players just genuinely try. And I'm just not sure that's going to be a thing. But maybe when this when like the LeBrons, Currys, and KDs, those who kind of have began the not trying trend, maybe when you have guys like maybe Wemby. Cooper Flagg comes in the NBA and starts trying hard. Maybe Wemby. Maybe I don't know who else.
So Jaren Jackson Jr., like, in quotes before the game, was like, I'm going to pick up full court.
And he did not do that.
It's a game to 40, man. It's like 10 possessions. True. And dude, it's a game to 40 with no defense. Yeah. Dude, the games took 8 minutes. The commercial breaks were longer.
It's gross. It's like, gross.
Dude, I had the All-Star... Guys, I had the choice between the All-Star game and a 6-hour Daytona race, because NASCAR just is archaic and it always rains at Daytona. Like, the race always. I was like, Give me rain delay NASCAR over this BS.
Yeah, and they had Saturday Night Live 50th special that night too, so I'm sure ratings were booty.
And William Byron won.
Yeah. Anything else, Cody, before we transition to the guest of the team? I think we've covered everything we came in here to discuss.
Yep. Hopefully it gets better. That's all I can say.
I'm not sure that's gonna work.
We miss some Kobe mentality when it comes to All-Star break. We'll say that.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, they all tried in 2020 because they were like trying for Kobe.
But we can
that's literally what it was.
Transition into a guess the team. You guys will be guessing the team based off where they used to play, the 5 players. So
interesting.
We'll hop right on into that.
Interesting.
Can you name the NBA team based off who they used to play for? The X means they have never played for another team.
The first one I look at is the King, and the most recent guy that's playing shooting guard right now that left the Kings is De'Aaron Fox. So I think we can work our way to the Spurs here because Chris Paul never played for the Pelicans, but he played in New Orleans. So
I was actually trying to figure out how this could be the Heat because I was thinking Wiggins, honestly.
We were thinking Wiggins, Bam would work.
I don't think obviously Hero or Rozier. It's obviously the Spurs, but I was trying to finagle a little Heat there.
Yeah, and we're throwing in a little Harrison Barnes, probably Devin Vassell small forward, but try to trick us with a little bit of Chris Paul Pelicans. But you mean technically that plays?
That is correct. Yes, for my 2008 and newer babies, be careful, guys, because that is Chris Paul. Chris Paul played on the New Orleans Hornets back in, 2008 or something like that. Your second team is on the screen. Also 2 players that have never played for another team.
Thunder. I feel like not many people leave the Thunder.
I mean, Russ.
Again, I'm going recently. Like Josh Giddey used to play for the Thunder, and then Vucevic technically played for the Sixers 1 year of his career at the beginning of his career. So can we find a way to make this the Bulls? The Lakers one is kind of throwing me off. Who could that be? Kobe White could be in here. Desunmu, no. Could that be Lonzo at shooting guard? And then we go
Buzelis and Patrick Williams or something.
I mean, they've been starting some weird combinations, and I don't think this necessarily has to be starters.
Full tank mode.
Yeah, that's a tough one, but we could go based off Giddey, Lonzo, and Vucevic. So let's go Bulls.
That is correct. This is the Bulls. Yes, Vucevic played on the Sixers. I think it was his rookie season.
Yeah.
We have Dosunmu and Kobe White. Kobe White being the small forward. Lonzo Ball, Josh Giddey. Well done, fellas.
To be fair, they do have a lot of guards, and I think they might have thrown out this lineup one time. That's like 4 guards in the lineup.
Small forward is crazy.
How tall is Dosunmu?
Like 6'5".
No. This is their lineup on basketball or ESPN as of February 18th.
That is going to do it for the RCR show. What is this, episode 5? I'm pretty sure it was. I really want to hear your guys' thoughts on the All-Star game and what you would do to change the All-Star game, and I want to hear it in the comments below. I also want to hear who you think I left off the best dunkers in the NBA list. We'll be dropping a show here probably again within the next week, so if you haven't been caught up on any shows up to this point, I highly recommend go watch all of them. All the topics are somewhat still relevant. Maybe not the Cavs going 73-9 in episode 1, but there's still a lot of good to watch. Of course, you can go follow our TikTok, Instagram for all of our daily content and videos like this. West, anything else you want to say before we head out of here?
No. I'm gonna tweet my All-Star idea. I'm loving my All-Star idea. I'm not gonna lie. So
I follow you up on that. I like that. Make sure to subscribe. Almost 10,000 subscribers on the tube. Come on,
that would be quite a milestone. Can we maybe get a? I set some goals at the beginning of the year. I have them on my wall right here. One of the goals is, and tell me if you think this is possible, 200,000 followers on TikTok. I think that's doable by
the end of 2025.
End of 2025. That's
if it's not if it's not banned, then yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, that goal took a hit early in January, but obviously we're back now. I said I didn't do any Instagram goal. You want to know what my goal for YouTube is? I want 50K subs.
Oh, that's not happening.
I don't know, man. We start rolling out if we just get a couple elite short videos. If you're watching this right now, go watch the shorts. If you like this content, you're gonna like our shorts too. If we just get some elite shorts out there, then it's not that far off.
And watch the RCR show.
And of course, watch the R show. That's also a massive deal. But we thank you guys for watching again. This was episode 5. We hope you join us for episode 6 next week. And we will see you then. Thanks for watching. Peace out.